I'm Brooklyn, I'm with Block Party Quilt Co, and I'm gonna show you how I used a layer cake to make a quilt top. This is a fun little thing that designers put out. It's 42 pieces of curated fabrics that all match each other, and they're all cut into 10-inch squares. It's a really great foundation to start with quilts, and there's like millions of things you can do with pre-cuts like this. I'm gonna show you how to make this quilt top, and if you read the title of this video, you know that I made a mistake, which is fine because it turned out really cute anyways. Let's just look at how we put this cute quilt top together. The first thing we're gonna need is our layer cake. This has 42 pieces in it. They're all different. We love layer cakes. You're also gonna need a few extra pieces. I talked about making a larger version and a smaller version. If you're making the larger version, you will need 6 extra squares. So these coordinate. This black happens to be from the line, but this one is just another Halloween print. Well, it's actually just a polka dot print, but they match the layer cake well enough that I wanted to use it. So I'll show you how we're going to make this type of block. So the way that I've done this block is this star shape in the middle is random. If you want them to all be consistent, where these points and these like triangles all look the same, then I'll show you how to do that. But the demonstration that I'm gonna do is how to make them all kind of different wonky sizes. The first thing we're gonna need to do is open our layer cake and start sorting out the pieces. So this one, it looks like most of them are already kind of sorted, where we have like our pinks are here, oranges are pretty lined up. I think that's supposed to be a pink. Oh, this print is so cute with the little ghosts and their little party hats. I'm just so happy about this line. Then we have some whites here and our blacks. There's actually a lot of black in there. That will be really fun. Now I'm just gonna match. I want contrasting pieces to go together. So there's a lot of this black, and that's great because it's gonna go really well with all the whites. And contrasting is just like that you'll be able to definitely tell the difference between the two fabrics. So like these two I would call contrasting, but these ones not really because they have a lot of that same orange in them. Now you should have 24 sets of 2, so I'm just gonna go back and count and make sure I have enough. Now, I'm gonna take our little cute pile over here and set it off to the side. And I'm gonna line these up. It really doesn't matter what direction you put them. These prints are like kind of all over the place anyways. Like this could be right side up and so could this. You know, we've got these pumpkins. This print's really forgiving. If you're really particular about the directions, then you can plan for that. But if not, just go for it. So the fun thing about these is we're gonna take our sets of 2 and we are going to take these and just chop them. We're gonna just chop off a corner. You wanna make sure that you only have 1 set of 2 here. And this is where if you want your stars to all be uniform, you measure it. So you can measure and match it up in the same spot every time, so you're cutting off the same size of triangle. But I'm not gonna do that, and I'm just gonna start chopping things. Future Brooklyn here. This is where the biggest issue happened and why it didn't look like stars when I laid it out. So I'm showing you how to cut and that it doesn't matter how you cut it. And it's true, it really doesn't matter. But if you want it to look like stars, you need your cuts to be more at a sharper angle. And when you get those longer triangles, you're gonna have a better look for a star. If you just want to replace corners and do it how it shows at the end and how my quilt top turned out, then keep going. Just be whimsical, don't measure anything. But if you wanted it to be more neat, this is the time to fix that. Now the important part is that you keep these pieces together. So you can pin them or clip them, but make sure that they stay with each other. And I'm just gonna cut through this whole pile. All right, now that all of your squares have been cut and added their little triangles, we're gonna start sewing these things and it's gonna be fun. So we'll take our first pile, and I didn't clarify, but we needed to make sure that these are right side up. Both of these in the stack are right side up, so that when you take them apart, they match each other. So you wanna make sure that these are both right side up so that your corners match. You're cutting off the same corner for both of them. And precision on this quilt is not a huge factor. Like that's not the most important thing. So matching up these lines and these corners is not going to be a very big deal, which is always nice that there's like some mercy on this quilt. So this little angle right here is obviously not a 1/4 inch, and we're using 1/4 inch seams on this. So we're going to sew a 1/4 inch piece just right over that top, and when the triangle comes in, it comes in. We'll just pretend it was there the whole time. And I'm not doing anything fancy here, I'm just lining it up at where it would have been cut off. Like there's no overlap, there's no like overhang on either end, which is normally what you do with triangles. I'm just putting it exactly where it was. Well, where the other piece was. So now we have this, we've replaced the corner, and with the seam allowance, we shrank our square. So we're gonna have to go cut that off to trim this to 9.5 inches, but we won't do that quite yet. I'm gonna sew one more set together in a little bit different colors, just so I can show you how it might look in another sort of shape. This one is a pretty like right triangle here, so now we can look at it with a little bit of a different shape to see how it looks when we sew this way. So it's the same thing as before, but when we don't have that really skinny point, our line that is that 1/4 inch seam is obviously a lot shorter. And then you're just going to press your new seam towards the darker fabric. So when you have one of your squares, you now have this little edge, and you can see these are super uneven. So we're going to square the block. They start out as 10-inch squares. We are going to cut it to 9.5. I like to line it up here on the first cut. I'm lining it up with my mat. So here it's at 9.5 inches. And I'm just going to trim a little bit off, starting with this. Then I'm going to turn it. Sometimes these are going to change a little bit. This one's pretty close to a 1/2 inch, so it's easy to just trim this, but I'll show you some other ways that this happens too. Now your block is really clean and straight, so it's going to be easier to sew with that. Now when we get some that are like this, that have more of a, like this edge is closer, this one's really far off, then it's going to be a little bit of a different process. So on the first one, I'm going to start here where it's very far, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did before, trimming it at 9.5, or trimming it to 9.5. And then if I cut it here, I would be cutting off a lot of that pink, and I want to keep that pink. So instead, I'm going to just barely trim as little as I can off this white until it lines up with the pink, and then I'll cut it from the other side. So I'm lining up the lines on my ruler with that straight edge that I just cut, because I know that's really straight. And cutting that off is basically like cutting dust. Like there's not much there at all. But now that edge is straight, and I can trust it for when I'm doing the next steps. Now this one is pretty far in both directions. That's probably going to be more than a 1/2 inch on this spot. Let's check. Okay, this fold is right at a half inch shorter, so that's good. If it's more than a 1/2 inch different, another fun thing about this pattern is it's very forgiving, and you don't have to really match points, so you won't have to stress out about getting it perfect. If there's a little dip here, just make sure that you watch when you're sewing that you get it in the seam. Other than that, like, you won't have to worry about that. Now once your blocks are all squared, I have a few more to sew together, but then we're going to take it over to my design wall, and I'm going to show you how I'm planning on laying this out.
So I was going through and I wanted to make it look like stars. So I added all of the like blacks and whites together and I was trying to group it. But remember where I cut those really randomly? Some of those stars ended up looking like sailboats and I hated it. So I changed gears and now I'm changing it to where I'm laying it out with all of those replaced corners in the bottom right hand corner of the block. That way it kind of just looks like a little bit more interesting than the squares, and it just took me a minute to balance out where I wanted the colors, but I really love how this looks now. It's really cute. So I'm gonna just stack up the rows and bring it over for chain piecing.
One thing that I really love about this pattern is how easily the blocks all go together. So I have put together all of the strips. I did some chain piecing and I put together all of the strips and squares. This is actually the last section that needs to be sewn together. If you don't know what I am talking about when I say chain piecing, I have another great tutorial on the details of that and how it makes your quilting so much better. And I definitely recommend watching it because it was a total game changer for me when I realized that I could make it so much faster. So I'm just feeding this through and I am matching up my corners, which there's only the one triangle block, right? There's only one side of this shape that has that. So I can match up my corners and then that guy's just gonna be random. So we're not gonna be losing any of our points in there. And that's really nice because it's very stress-free quilting when it doesn't have to perfectly match. So when I'm doing this, I have pressed my seams in opposite directions. So the main seam on the square is pressed in opposite ways. And I'm taking that and I'm nesting them together so I can feel when the pieces are touching and it tells me where the corner will be. So that way I know I'm getting the seams to match. So now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna make sure that all of my seams are ironed and I'll show you the finished product. All right, so here it is. And it turned out really cute. Like, I don't think you can really go wrong with this fabric, which is nice because I wasn't planning on this, but this pattern actually was really fun to put together. It will look really cute in all sorts of colors and different layer cakes. So I hope you have fun with this. And I just wanted to say that there is no such thing as a perfect quilt. And even people who are professionals like me, we all make mistakes and there's no such thing as doing it perfectly. So if you are working on a quilt and it doesn't turn out the way you expect, just celebrate it, just go with it anyways, and you're gonna love what you make because you made it. So happy sewing.